Hello friendly faces, welcome to another video. So this week I thought we could have a look at two summer favourites, dahlias and sweet peas. Now they're usually grown in garden borders, but you might not have a garden, you might just have a patio or a balcony. So I was going to show you how you can grow them in pots. So here's two packets of dahlias I bought from Home Base in Sittingbourne, although you can get the same thing in Sainsbury's and Morrison's. So this is what they look like when you open the packet, and those big sort of bulbous things there, they're called tubers. So these tubers are really dry and you don't know how long they've been in the packet for. So what I do when I buy dahlias like this is stick the tubers in a bucket of water overnight. Now you're going to need fairly largish pots. Now this one on the left here, this is what's called a 10-inch pot, and that's measured across the top of the pot. And this one on the right, this is a 12-inch pot, slightly bigger. So what you do, fill the pot up halfway with some compost, then spread the tuber out on top of the compost, making sure it's not too deep. You want the top of it just to be level with that inner ring so that you've got room to water. And just make sure the neck of the tubers is sticking up above the soil. Then the final thing, put a label in and give some water. Now I said they need fairly largish pots, but those two green pots, they're only 5 inches. It's not too much of a problem, it just means they won't grow so big. Then when they've been growing for a few weeks, you're going to need some sort of support to keep the stems upright, but I'll cover that in another video. So on to sweet peas, and what we're going to do, we're going to grow some in pots and make a wigwam to support them, and we're going to grow some in a hanging basket. We've got a selection of sweet peas, some are tall ones, some are dwarf ones, and some are specially grown for hanging baskets. Now sweet peas have long roots and they like to have cool roots, so if you can, get some deepish pots, but if you can't, it's not a problem. And also for the wigwams, you're going to need some twine and you're going to need some canes. So fill the pot with some compost and stick your canes in. Now for a circular pot, you're going to need a minimum of 3, but I've got a square pot, so I've got 4. And as you can see, I'm up a ladder. Now, I'm not expecting you to do this, but I've got some varieties that grow to 8 foot, so I need some tall canes. You can of course use short canes, even if you have got tall varieties. I'm just doing this because I want to see how tall I can get them to grow this year. It can be a bit fiddly tying the knots at the top of the wigwam, but as long as they hold together, it doesn't matter how you do it. Once you've made the wigwam, it's time to do the planting. Now the easiest way to do this is to take the strip of plants out of the container and then break them up into blocks and put each block next to the cane. It doesn't matter that there's quite a few clumped together, they'll all grow. It's a bit fiddly and can be a bit damaging if you try to separate each individual plant. When you finish the planting, get the twine and run it in a line about 6 inches up the cane. Sweet peas are climbers, and this is going to provide support for the plants as they grow. Once the plants reach the first line, make another line about 6 inches up and keep doing this as the plant grows all the way up the canes. The next thing we're going to try is growing sweet peas in a hanging basket. We're going to need a basket, a liner, compost, and a variety of sweet pea that has been bred to grow as a trailer. I'm also going to use some leftover lobelias that I've got. So I'm going to try something new. I've got a felt liner that's already got pre-cut holes in it. I've never used this sort before, I usually use moss. So put the first layer of plants in so that the leaves are sticking outside the basket and the roots are on the inside. Then fill the basket almost to the rim with compost. Again, take the strip of sweet peas out of the container, break them into blocks, and plant them in the top of the hanging basket. Finally, give them some water and hang them up. Now I've got this one in the polytunnel because I want to grow it on a little bit before I put it in its final flowering place. But you can hang it where it's going to go, but it will look a little bit bare like this until the plants are filled out a little bit. And just make sure the place where you do put them, if you hang them out straight away, is free from frosts. So a quick update on some of the containers I planted up in the previous video. These are also hanging up in the polytunnel, and they've started to fill out and grow on a bit. So here's something that's quite interesting that's happening to the lettuces that I planted in the last video. The ones in the purple container are on the kitchen windowsill, but they don't get enough light because we've got a conservatory. And as you can see, they're getting quite leggy, and also they've lost their red coloration because there's not enough light, although they still are okay to eat. So I hope you found some of that useful. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again next week. Bye.